Time I did it with the lime and shit, I took a sound bath.
Oh my God! I thought you were.
Ate it. I came to your house afterwards.
I was gonna say, was it that
I came to your
time?
house afterwards. And it passed. And I was like, ooh, so smoke a blunt, shit, activates right back up. Oh, I was faded. It was a good experience. It was just intense. Good, man. Shut up. Everything is good. Just been working, man. How you doing?
All is well, man. You know me. I've been in straight dad mode, but I'm.
Yeah, man. Man, it's been a lot of different things in motion, man. For one, I've been working with Mike and Keys a lot, and that's been a relationship that has been in bloom probably since like 2017. So now it's kind of getting to the point where it's a real relationship built, and they're starting to bring me in on a lot of different projects. CA is the engineer as well, so it's a dope experience. We kind of like are reaching, you know, doing new types of sessions that we probably wouldn't have done, you know, if it wasn't for collabing with Mike and Keys. And it's a dope experience because they just put us right in the room, right in the energy, and, you know, tough critics, but it's also, they're very, you know, welcoming and supportive. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, I know I can speak for, you know, pretty much everybody in the room, but we, the UCA, we definitely put the music first. We love the music, so I think when you love the music, it just shows in a lot of different ways. And one of the ways it shows is just having a super inviting space for people to feel like creative and feel like it's not like a, you know, Hollywood studio session. It's just almost like a home feel. But,
Exactly.
You know, fire is made in here though.
Right.
Definitely.
No, man. I know it's a fire that's made in smaller studios and smaller spaces than this, closet spaces. So, like I said, this is the vibe that I like to have when I'm recording. You know, the big studios, they're cool, but you know what I'm saying, this is more of a home feel, like you said. But talk to me a little more about your upbringing, man. I know we fast forward a lot. Mm-hmm. Are you born and raised in LA?
Yeah, born and raised in LA, South Central to be specific. I got my first taste of like doing music in high school. One of my homies in high school, his dad was an exec at Nickelodeon. So, and he was a rapper. So this was at the time I just started making beats. I wasn't even calling myself a producer yet. I was just like, yo, I can make beats. And I ended up making a couple of like beats for my homie. He ended up rapping on it. His dad was an exec. He had the juice, so he ended up getting the records on there, and that was like my first check, like TV single. I was in high school, so yeah.
So before even getting wind that your friend was an artist and that you could, you know, put yourself in front of that opportunity to be placed on such a big platform, what made you even get into producing to begin with? Before you were, like the stage you were saying, before you were calling yourself a producer, when you were just messing around with sounds, what made you want to even do that? What inspired you to?
Honestly, bro, curiosity. Like, I've always been a fan of music, so I would just listen to different songs like Timberland, Dr. Dre, Pharrell, Alchemist. Those are like some super early influences for me. So I just remember listening to the music, random albums that they would either be featured on or they produced on. And I'd just be curious, like, man, this piece is fire. Like, how are they doing this? You know, how are they taking the sound and like switching it like that?
Word.
So I think that curiosity kind of, that went on for a couple of years, maybe like 5 or 6 years, and then I kind of decided, okay, I'm gonna take it from, I'm curious about it, so okay, I'm gonna just try my hand at it, like, see how it goes. So I think that's when I really kind of jumped off the porch and started addressing myself as a producer.
Word.
Instead of someone who just like, oh, I can make these, but I kind of like, you know, took it full time at that point. The first like real placement I caught was 2014 with Eric Bellinger. So that was dope. we actually went to church together growing up. So him and his manager have always kind of been around. And as soon as they kind of caught wind that I was really starting to take it serious, they kind of like took me under their wing, and you know, I was with them for a lot of years, just developing my sound and working with them and just getting a lot of hands-on experience. You know, Eric is crazy. He got a crazy pen, works super fast, and just seeing someone work at that level, it just really helps you get your game right. You know, sharpening a sword.
Tell me a little more about the collective, what y'all got going on here. Tell people how y'all came up with the name, you know, what's the idea behind everything that's going on, what's the roles that you all play.
Yeah, you definitely.
Yeah, I started Culture Jam in like 2019, right around the time I met AC actually. Basically, you know, I've been involved in activism for about 10, 11 years now. About 2011 is when I started, and I've been in the music industry since about the same time. And you know, I've seen a lot of the systemic racism that exists, period, in the world, and on top of that, in the industry as well. So I was like, well, I don't really see any labels or anyone doing anything that specifically helps Black creatives, and so I was like, well, what's the best thing I could do is use the platform and the resources that I already have to try to create a space where Black creators can come and produce and record, work on their projects and help build whatever it is they're working on. And then when the Black Lives Matter protests started up, that only kind of just increased what people was already talking about and doing. And it really just kind of energized this idea even more so. So, me and AC been working on all sorts of records for the past, 3 or 4 years now, and CA as well. He's been, helping us with a lot of these records as well. And we just try to bring in different artists and try to see how we can help them produce their projects, their albums, and on top of that, any money that we get really just goes towards helping the community and continuing this place. Like we have a community fridge, which is stocked a few times a week, helps feed the unhoused population here in Hollywood. And we do things like PPE giveaways, clothing giveaways, and just giving away studio time and other services wherever we can. So it's pretty much what it's all about here at Culture Jam.
Hey man, much respect, man. That's definitely needed in the art community in general.
Facts, right.
Just somewhere that artists feel comfortable and also can learn something, without someone trying to gain something from the situation all the time,
Yeah. It's very rare.
Yeah, not to cut y'all off, but yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah, y'all talk about
So
it.
Drew, you're like
I'm like the founder, and I just try to run the day-to-day stuff here. The website marketing, and we got a little team here. We got Sherman and Miles. They're not here obviously, but they kind of help with a lot of the day-to-day stuff too, with the marketing and all that stuff. And we just try to look for different artists here in LA and elsewhere too. Yeah, where we can try to help and give our resources. But AC really the main producer I work with pretty much almost every day practically on different projects.
For sure.
Every day.
Sure.
That's been our relationship since we met. Like even the way in which we met, like we met at a TD writing camp, and it was a 30-day camp, 7 days a week, 24 hours, like 5 different studio rooms, and it was just like a situation where you kind of just had to pull up and work. Like the people who wasn't working, they was just getting weeded out and stuff like that. So it was a really dope opportunity. But in that month, bro, we probably slept maybe like an average of like 2 or 3 hours a night.
Yeah.
Wake up, change, go get a yerba mate, coffee, something, get right back in the vibe. So I think just from us meeting and working like that, it kind of just set a foundation. And now, like, we hang out, we can hang out and have a conversation about music, not about music. We can do stuff that's music related, not music related. But I think the core of our friendship was just getting work done, staying productive, and just getting records. And, man, I think we're going to look back at where we are right now in a couple of years from now and just see that, like, this is the problem. You know what I'm saying? The shit you don't really see, like you see the success, you know, you see the accolades, but you don't really see like the grind, the struggle, to like, yo, you trying to go half of a pizza, like you don't see that, and we've been through that a bunch of times, and that path has kind of led us to where we are today, where now it's like, you know, some stuff behind our belt. You know, we still got a long way to go, but definitely we've had a lot of success, and not only individually, but just, you know, like collectively working on projects and stuff. And CA too, like that's another person. Like we met working, and we ended up being brothers, but primarily it's just a work thing, man. We just get work done. I think it's kind of one of those things, like, you know, you are who you hang around. So we all are just workers. We get stuff done, and even with CA, man, like super proud of him, because he started off engineering in a situation that wasn't really, you know, optimal to where, you know, his potential was, and he didn't really let it get him down or nothing. He just kept grinding, kept hustling. I always respected that about him. So different little opportunities and, you know, plays I would get, I'd call CA, because I know that he would probably be available, and when he pulled up, he would do the job correctly and communicate with the artists the way that they needed to be communicated with. So really that kind of just formed into what we got today. You know, a lot of success to my brothers, man, and we just working, trying to get to the next level.
Thanks. That's what's up, man. Much respect.
Yeah.
So, CA, are you an artist as well?
No, it's actually funny because, like, I started off as an artist. I feel like everybody who get into music, you try yourself as an artist a little bit somehow, but I just instantly knew it wasn't for me. Like, I was always a person that wanted to be in the background for the most part. Like, I'm a people person, and I could be in like the front and all that, but I'd rather not. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather, you know, do my own shit. So I thought I was gonna be a producer, because I didn't even know what an engineer was at first. Like, I thought the producer was the one getting there, set up the mic, you know what I'm saying, recording, Pro Tools, all that. I thought that was all producer, you know what I'm saying. But then I learned from this engineering class that I took at Long Beach City. I took it at Long Beach City, and it was like a Pro Tools class and like audio engineering, and then from there, it really sparked my mind. I'm like, this is what other people are doing. And Ali popped up. Ali is like real big engineer now. He was like started off with Kendrick, you know what I'm saying, Schoolboy Q. He popped up, and he gave me somebody I could follow, you know what I'm saying, like his footsteps, because he's the biggest engineer in the world, you know what I'm saying. So like I seen that when he first popped up, you know what I mean. So I've been following his footsteps, and from there I found another school, and then engineering 10 years now. So
That's what's up. Respect.
yeah.
So where do y'all see Culture Jam going, or what are y'all plans for I'll say next year? What are some goals that you all have in mind, or, you know, maybe some projects that y'all have upcoming that y'all want to share, artists that y'all been working with?
Really, most of the time, like, I don't really like to like look at like definite goals. I'm kind of like a hippie with that, where it's like I just want to have a successful year making music with people I really fuck with. You know what I'm saying? So like, once I go in the studio and that happens, I'm already grateful, and from there it's like, I love my life. You know what I'm saying? It's just easy to keep going. But like, of course, like a lot of the stuff that we work on, man, we'd love to see a lot of it get big. You know what I'm saying? We work with a lot of talented people. You know, we be in the studio with some talented people. So I would love to see the people that, you know, put their blood, sweat, and tears on these tracks actually get some accolades and some recognition. I would love to see that. You know what I mean? There's some people we work with, like my brother Water. But I want to see him with some platinum plaques. You feel me? But you know, something like that. But I don't really set definite goals. I don't know if they, you know, they do, you know, per se. But as far as on the music side, I'm just like, I just want to continue what we doing.
Yeah, I think we all have a lot of records that definitely with some pretty notable artists, and if, you know, any one of those come out, I think it'll just put us in a position of where we'll be able to kind of work with the artists that we, you know, would prefer to work with, and just, you know, kind of go to that next level. So that's definitely a goal that we work towards. Another goal we work towards is having that same kind of effect on artists that we organically develop and work with, you know, independently. You know, they say you're supposed to hustle, you know, side by side versus trying to hustle up, and I think we do both, because we know people, you know, side by side that are talented, and we also, you know that we're able to do music and be in an environment with top tier professionals and still have a place and not be out of place and still be able to contribute to the music. So I think for all of us collectively, you know, we want to still be in that realm, but also build up the talent. You know, there's a lot of talented independent artists that we know, and I think it's really more so of a, you know, let's try to get them to a good position as well as, you know, get ourselves as established brands in a, you know, another position.
I love to check in on the mental health of everyone that's a part of Safe Space. That's one of the reasons why I started it. I feel like just opening the conversation, whatever the conversation is about, you know, it's just important to continue to conversate, you know what I'm saying, amongst each other, amongst creatives, whether you have, you know, views on personal things that's going on in your personal life, things that are going on in society, whatever it is. People take in things differently and they weigh on people differently. Also, being creatives, like you said, we're so determined and focused on the goal and the dream, and that's very important. And like you said, it's a lot of times we don't get as much sleep or don't eat how we should, and that could take a heavy toll on our mental health. So, that being said, how is everyone's mental health from a 1 to 10? Just to start it off, I'll say I'm at a solid 7 right now. And I'll say just getting back to everything and, you know, learning how to balance out my creative life and being creative and an entrepreneur and being a dad and being a family man.
Sure.
So just learning how to balance those things and not neglect either. So I'll say I'm at a 7 in building, you know, learning and still going through the motions.
Yeah, shit, I think I'm actually at a good 8, man. Things are in a good space. What I've learned, or not learned, what I've realized recently is that some of the things that I've, you know, that you can consider an issue is not really an issue, you know, in the grand scheme of things. Like, I know a lot of times, like me and Drew, we might have like an opportunity, we might send a record out for certain artists, and you know, the artist might not do something with it, or you just don't hear anything back, or, you know, they want to, you know, be petty and negotiate back and forth on the fee. A lot of times I think we get, you know, discouraged naturally. It's something that's frustrating, but I think the fact that we're able to say that, yo, we're in Los Angeles, one of the biggest entertainment hubs of the world, actually doing music, you know, actually in the industry and working and getting better, I think that's a W actually. So I think, you know, since I've had that shit, I've looked at a lot of things differently. There is a stress, you know, obviously bills are real, being an adult, that shit real. So, you know, I think we're just trying to just keep working and just seeing what that next thing is. But I think overall things are good for me.
That's what's up, man.
Shit, I say a solid 7.5 on my scale personally. You know, when I first moved here, I definitely struggled quite a bit. I moved here about 6 years ago. You know, being from Orlando, cost of living is a lot lower. I did a lot more session work as a guitarist, played on tours, that type of stuff, you know, played at clubs. And I was making good money. So going from that and then moving here and saying I'm only going to be a producer so I could get that respect, you know, you lost all your income all of a sudden. So it was pretty hard. And yeah, I definitely went through some zeros and ones for, you know, even a couple years when I first moved. But I think just like for my own sake, I was just like, I got to figure out how to, you know, get my mental health under control and things like therapy. Gardening, believe it or not, you know, just making sure I had a list of friends that was really deep that I could call whenever I went through things to make sure that I wasn't just alone with my thoughts and things like that. And just trying to, you know, learn how to really, you know, navigate this difficult industry that we're in. Because it's a cutthroat industry. You know, I've lost a lot of money and placements and friendships and relationships all because of this choice that I made to move out here and to pursue this industry. So, you know, it's definitely great that you're using this this platform to, you know, draw attention to that stuff, because it's something we don't talk about enough. I think it's something I like to talk about here a lot more too, because, you know, there's a lot of really important stuff gets talked about in these sessions that can't happen anywhere else, you know. Because of whatever, maybe it's because it's work or you got a girlfriend present or other friends. Like there's something different about the atmosphere in a studio session. So, you know, even those conversations are so important to my mental health personally. So,
Yeah, studio conversations are the best.
right.
Man, and that's really like that. I don't know. I was just always have deep conversations in whatever setting I am, and that's just the person I am. I mean, I'll small talk if, you know, that's what the person likes to do, but I'm really not a small talker. And not to say that we have to get into the dive deep, but you know what I'm saying? Like, let's talk about something that's productive, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, damn, it's good to just get those juices flowing. It gets the creativity flowing and everything in a different way. And also connecting. Like you said, I just moved out here 2 years ago, you know, and it was really, I was focused on my family. I just had a kid, just had another kid, so I have 2 kids now, you know what I'm saying? So trying to find my community out here. And like you said, I was back home, I'm from Cleveland. I was performing like every other week. That was like major income for me, you know what I'm saying, as an independent artist, but coming out here, especially through the COVID shit. So it's
Yeah, right when it started.
right. So, but you know what I'm saying, I feel like this is a healthy thing for the art community overall. But not to cut you off.
On my turn.
Yes, sir.
Mental health is something very important to me. Like I focus on it a lot. I try to be like the most positive person I could be. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty much on a study that many people, you know, be on, where they find, you know what I'm saying, the Think and Go Rich and, you know, manifestation and, you know what I'm saying, like focusing on your thought. I'm going through that journey right now where I know that everything in your, you know what I'm saying, in your life path is based off of thought. You know what I'm saying? So I'll try to keep my thoughts real clear.
Yes, sir.
But that's really 100% like based off my mental health, because I wouldn't even be on this journey if I didn't have one of like the worst mental health years I've ever had. And I had to really like take a step back and like really like reevaluate myself and kind of get all my confidence back. And based off that, I found, you know what I'm saying, I start, you know, getting in the studio with AC, you know, start getting in the studio with Drew, you know what I'm saying, all the stuff that happened where, you know, we in the studio with Mike and Keys and all the big name studios and, you know, big name acts that we were working with, you know, it was just on me, you know, switching my whole, you know, thought process around, you know what I'm saying, went back to the positive. So that's a super big thing for me, man. I'm super big on mental health, man. Just try to really just stay in your best spirit no matter what's going on. There be some crazy stuff going on, man. You never know, like, man.
Never know, man.
Literally. So, but it's like you gotta just, you know what I'm saying. It's easy when we in the studio because we always making some good music. It's always a good, you know, vibe. So that's it for me.
It's
right
therapy.
there. Yeah, literally.
What would you say you're at? Let's on a scale
Oh.
of 1 to 10.
I say today because, man, yesterday I was kind of down. I'm not going to lie. I was in the 6.5s. But
Yeah.
today I'm in the 8 because I know that, like, pretty much got, like, some bad news yesterday. But, like, I understand that, like, when a big obstacle comes in your, like, your way, your path and whatnot, that's kind of like a reset point for you to be like, okay, like a trial, I would say. Like, okay, after this, you get through this, you're going to get to what you've been asking for. My bad. What you've been asking for. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, they say that in most of the books where it say like, Thomas Edison, he was like at a point where he wanted to quit, but he kept going past that point and then he got the light bulb and he's the greatest inventor of all time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I take on like the big challenges and like those phone calls is like, what? Like I take on those, like it's like, okay, I'm ready for some real big shit that's about to happen because this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like the crazier it is, okay, the better something's happening. Like after difficulty comes ease. So like, I based off yesterday, I was like, I had to really like this morning, I was like, I had to really just, man, I'm just keep going, bro. You're in a good position. You pray for these type of days. I'm like, but yeah, that's why I'm back at an 8, but I was at a 6 yesterday for sure.
Yes, sir. I feel you. That's life, man. It
Yeah.
comes in waves.
Yeah.
And we have Venus here. That's behind the scenes. I like to check in with everybody. Like I said, this isn't,
Most definitely.
you know,
Lights in my
your
face,
regular
I can't see neither
scripted
one.
type thing. We're going to check in with
I love
everybody that's a
that.
part of it.
No,
But,
for sure.
yeah, Venus.
Oh snap! Behind the camera, behind the camera. I'm at an 8 today.
Word.
Yesterday. Wait, the other day I was pretty much at a 6 too. I ain't gonna hold you, but know what I'm saying? Like you said, it comes in waves, trials and tribulations. You gotta roll with it.
Yeah, well, anything else that y'all would love to share? Anything that you have coming up as far as solo projects or whatever? Anything outside of music? Anything that you want the people to tap into? Share your socials, share your contact information, wherever people can get in contact with you. And yeah, like I said, she's gonna switch around camera angles. Let y'all play some shit, and then I'll ask a few more questions to close out.
You want to start with me?
It don't matter.
Tap in with me. All socials is AC the producer. Always looking for new artists that got the drive and got some really dope music and want to continue to work. So tap in.
Mixed by CA on all socials, Twitter, Instagram. Well, that's really where you're gonna find me at. But be on the lookout for that name. Got some mixes coming out, independent. Got some mixes with some artists that you may know. Just be on the lookout. You know what I'm saying? Give me a shout out. You know what I'm saying? Be proud of your boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my name's Andrew Beckner, at Andrew Beckner on all socials. You can check me out also at andrewbeckner.com. Right now, me and CA got a sample pack called Interludes. It's got 10 different joints on it that are all custom made. It's gonna have all the stems to be able to create.
That sounds like I ain't got no sample pack. I don't know nothing about that.
Wow. All right, here we
Because
go.
he said me and Sid, but he meant to say me and AC.
No, yeah, you can start over.
Yeah. Look.
All good.
Yeah.
It happens.
That's funny.
No, so I guess that's over. My name's Andrew Beckner, at Andrew Beckner on all social media handles. You can find me at andrewbeckner.com. Also culturejam.us if you want to check out anything that Culture Jam's doing. Me and AC have a sample pack called Interludes that we made. It's 10 different tracks. It's got all the samples and stems that you need to create whatever fire you're trying to do. And also there's a single with the Melodics called Road to You that's coming out this month. I co-produced and sampled my vocals on there, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, check that out.
So tell me what it is, and this is something that I'm missing.